Hi, scholars, 7th graders at Griffin Middle School. Here is your CommonLit text for April 13th through 17th. It's called FYC Middle School, and it's by This American Life. You can listen to the transcript here on this channel with this video, or you can go to CommonLit and sign in through ClassLink and read it yourself. Another option is to listen to the podcast, and the link for that is also available on your Teachers Focus website in the Resources tab. So let's get to it. Okay, so our story today is called FYC Middle School. I'm going to scroll. You can see I'm on the CommonLit website. I'm going to scroll down and read it aloud to you, and as I scroll, you will see the screen move. When we get to the questions at the end, I will pause and give you a few moments to answer them. When you pause the video, you can answer them on a piece of paper and then press play and continue. You may find that it's easy for you to write on lined paper. If you don't have that available, that's fine. Write on any paper you can find, and you can take a picture and email it to your teacher. So here we go. Prologue, Ira Glass. Hey everybody, Ira Glass here. So we've got this email at our radio show near the end of the last school year from a 14-year-old. Annie. Hello. Ira Glass. Hey, is this Annie? Annie. Yes. Ira Glass. I called her up at her house in California and asked her to read it. Annie. It says, Dear This American Life, I just escaped the whitewashed, brick-walled, iron-gated prison that is commonly known as middle school. And I'm finally out for good. But in all the time I've listened to your show, I've never heard an episode devoted to what goes on inside the walls of a middle school. I hope you'll think about it. Anonymous. Ira Glass. Yeah, you signed it anonymous, but then your email was signed with your name. Yeah. Ira Glass. Yeah. Annie. I did anonymous because in middle school, everybody is so judgmental, and I didn't want the kids to judge me or anything if they heard me on the radio. Ira Glass. Mainly, she says that she wrote to us because she and her friends were talking right after they left 8th grade about how terrible middle school was. And she wondered, was it just as bad for other people as it was for them? Annie. You always wonder whether other people are going through the same thing as you, and it'd be cool to hear other people's stories about it and what they went through. Ira Glass. And if you had to explain to somebody what was the worst thing about middle school, can I ask you just walk me through it? What is so bad about middle school? Annie. Kids there are all socially awkward stage that the drama every day can be frustrating. And girls write things that are someone likes so-and-so, and no matter who you are or what you do, you'll never get made fun of. Anything in the world you'll get made fun of for. Ira Glass. In Annie's case, she had friends who smoked, so she got criticized for smoking. But then she also was made fun of for not smoking, for being too much of a sissy to start smoking. She was made fun of for coming from a bilingual elementary school where everybody learned to speak Spanish and spoke it throughout the day. Annie. And leaving elementary school, I guess I thought that when I got to middle school, everyone would think I was really cool that it spoke Spanish. But when I got there, they mostly just thought it was dumb. I don't know if they were jealous or what. They made fun of me for it. Then they say we were all full of ourselves, that we spoke different languages and stuff. Ira Glass. Did it make you feel bad? Annie. Yeah, I didn't want to stick out in that way. If I got a sweater or something, say for Christmas, that I really liked and I really wanted to wear it to school or something, But I'd be nervous because what if someone didn't like my sweater or someone made fun of me for wearing it? It can be hard to do even the smallest things because you're so nervous that people tease you or judge you from it. Ira Glass, that sweater example, is that a real example? Yeah, it actually is. I worried about it so much. I also had a pair of moccasins that I'd never worn. They're kind of my signature now. Everybody really likes them. They're ankle-high lace-up moccasins. Ira Glass, and how long did you have moccasins before you actually wore them? Annie, a few months, probably 2 months, I guess. I just thought if people didn't like them, they would all make fun of me for wearing them, and I didn't want to stand out that much. Ira Glass, what could be done to make middle school better? Annie, I don't think you really could do anything about it. Nothing. Ira Glass, we talked about this for a little while. She said basically everything comes into middle school as a little kid, and you're going to have to grow up and figure out who's in what group and who you are and who's above who. And you're going to have to figure that out somewhere at that age, right? It means it might as well be middle school. And it was terrible, she says, but now she's in high school. Annie, whatever middle school was, it worked. Everyone's a lot friendlier and everyone's lives are a lot better now. Ira Glass, well, today on our radio program for Annie, we look at whatever it is that happens in those mysterious years that we call middle school. We have stories today from all over the country, people lurching their way through these years when you're figuring out so much. We go to middle school dances and classrooms and down to the Mexican border. From WBEZ Chicago, this is American Life, distributed by Public Radio International. I'm Ira Glass. Stay with us. Okay, scholars, so these are your first 4 listening questions. And as you read the text and listened to the text being read to you, you should be able to answer these 4 questions. I'm going to read a question, then pause. That gives you an opportunity to pause the show, the video, answer your question on paper, write your answer down, and then press play and we'll go on to the next question. Listening question number 1, write. Make an annotation in paragraphs 10 through 24. According to Annie, how do people treat each other in middle school? Pause the video and write your answer now. Okay, number 2, write. Make an annotation in paragraphs 10 through 24. How did this affect the choices Annie made in middle school? Pause the video and write your answer now. All right, number 3, write. Make an annotation in paragraph 25. According to the podcast, what important experience are people having in middle school? When it says according to the podcast, it means according to the text that I just read to you. So, according to the text I just read to you, what important experiences are people having in middle school? Pause the video and write your answer down. Okay, number 4, write. Make an annotation in paragraph 26. According to Annie, how is her experience in high school different from middle school? Pause the video now and write your answer down. All right, we're on to Act 2, which is Act 2 stutter step. Just like at the beginning of the text, I'll read the text aloud and then I'll stop for the questions. Ira Glass, Act 2, stutter steps. One good place to see the experiment that is middle school in action is a middle school dance. Last Friday, there were middle school dances all over the country, all at the same time, and we sent reporters to a half dozen of them to find out how kids were doing. They talked to them before the kids went inside to the field of battle, and no surprise, we found a lot of stress and a lot of uncertainty. Rob Wildeboer, Who's nervous about tonight? Girl 1. I am. Rob Wildeboer. Why? Well, just, you don't know what it's like to be like, and I'm just confused. I just don't know. Yeah. Ira Glass. These 4 girls are 6th graders, and they're in a car on their way to a neon-themed dance at Edgewood Middle School in Highland Park, Illinois, with their mom and reporter, Rob Wildeboer. Rob Wildeboer. Who's going to the dance with a boy tonight? Girl 1. Nobody. Girl 2. I don't know. Girl 3. I can tell you that. Girl 4. No one in this car. Ira Glass. Roughly 800 miles east in New Jersey, 6th grader Ethan DeRose was hoping there would be at least one slow dance, though he did feel ready for a slow dance. Ethan. Nope, not at all. Brian Reed. Why not? What are you worried about? Ethan. I just don't know what to do. I'm not sure that I'll do it correctly, or yeah. Ira Glass. He's standing in front of the school with one of our producers, Brian Reed, as kids stream into the school. Ethan is wearing a button-up shirt with green and black stripes that he is not happy with. That was my mom. She made me wear it. She said that if I don't wear the 2 shirts that I am wearing right now, that I can't go to the dance. Brian Reed. What are you hoping happens at the dance? I'm hoping nothing bad happens, like no humiliation or not something that'd be a story for the next month or 2. Ira Glass. Of course, Ethan and the girls in that car in Illinois are 6th graders. In New York City, 7th graders Evelyn Benson and Alice Westerman are excited and feeling very grown up on their way to their school's Halloween dance. Evelyn. I'm really happy because last year they split the gym in half, so it's light on one side and pitch black on the other. All the 6th graders are banned from the dark side, but that's where all the cool kids are. So now we're in 7th grade. We can dance on the dark side, so it's like, woo, we're cool. Alice. Dance on the dark side. All right, scholars, here is your questions 5 through 6, listening questions. Write your answers down on a piece of paper. And I will pause in between so you can pause the video and write your answers. Question number 5, write. Make an annotation in paragraph 29 to 38. How do the 6th grade girls in Illinois feel as they get ready to go to the school dance? Pause the video and answer questions on paper. All right, number 6, write. Make an annotation in paragraph 47 to 49. How do the 7th grade girls in New York City feel differently about going to the dance? Pause the video and write your answers on paper. Okay, let's keep reading. Ira Glass. Some of the middle school boys got up the nerve to ask girls to be their dates to the dance, but because this is a new experience for the girls too, being asked out on a date, they don't exactly know how to handle it. Here's a girl named Autumn talking with our producer Lisa Pollock in Delaware the afternoon of the dance. Lisa Pollock. Did you get asked to the dance? Autumn. Yes, I did. Lisa Pollock. What did you say? I said I don't know, but I probably won't say yes. Wait, you haven't told him yes or no yet? No. Okay, so it's 1:20 and the dance is at 7 o'clock. Yeah. When do you have to let him know? I probably won't answer. Are you serious? Yeah, I just kind of want to hang with the girls. So he's the only one who asked you? There were other people too. How many? Probably 5-ish? 5 boys asked you to the dance? Yeah. You told all these guys I don't know? Yeah. What if they took that as a yes? Then they got the wrong answer. Do you say, I don't know because it feels too mean to say no? Yeah, I'm not mean. Ira Glass. Of course, some of the boys are no better. During the dance in Wyndham, Maine, our reporter Claire Holman pulled 6th grader Christopher Potter out of the action for a chat. Claire Holman. Is there anyone you'd like at the dance? Christopher. There is. Claire Holman, does she know? Christopher, yes, she does. We're kind of dating at the time. Claire Holman, so how's that going? Good. It just started 20 minutes into this, so yeah. You asked a girl to go out during the dance? No, a girl came to me and asked me out. Okay, let's go over it minute by minute. So where were you when this happened? I was in the cafeteria, just got a drink of root beer, and she walks up to me and asks me to go out. What did she say exactly? She said, Chris, will you go out with me? And were you surprised? Not really. We've been kind of on and off again. So it's not the first time. Yeah, not the first time. Claire Holman, but she always asks you, or do you ever ask her? Well, it's kind of weird because it's always she wants me to ask her, so it was weird that she asked me. Usually they don't last. It's a middle school relationship. Nothing really happens. What does that mean, a middle school relationship? What do you mean it doesn't last? It's destined to fail pretty much. Yeah, because it's middle school. This isn't where you're starting your life with. You don't hear things about middle school sweethearts. All right, scholars, here's your listing questions 7 and 8. Question number 7, write your answer on a piece of paper. Make an annotation in paragraphs 50 through 74. Consider Autumn from Delaware. What does her conversation with the reporter suggest about how adolescents express their feelings? Pause the video and write your answer on a piece of paper. Question number 8, write. Make an annotation in paragraph 75 through 97. Consider Christopher and his friends Elliot and Jonathan from Maine. What does their conversation with the reporter suggest about relationships in middle school? Write your answer on a piece of paper. Pause the video. All right, let's move on. Ira Glass. In Richmond, outside Moody Middle School dance, reporter Eric Mennel spoke with Elliot German and his stepbrother, Jonathan Lawton. They're both 8th graders who ran through the official rules for the dance. Jonathan. So some of them are kind of funny because, it's like no hands below the waist, no petting, which I thought was kind of funny. Eric Mennel. Wait, no petting? Yeah, no petting. What does that mean? No one knows. It was specifically on the flyer that they hand out. They give you the dress code and then they give you the rules, no petting. And it's in quotations and you never know what it means. Do people sit there at dances and just pet other people? Because that would be really weird. Ira Glass. There are rules like this at all the dances and some more comprehensible than others. As for whether or not the kids obey the rules and what actually happens inside the dance on the actual dance floor, one of our producers, Lisa Pollock, went inside to the dance floor at the fall costume dance in Lewes, Delaware, and I'm going to hand it off to her. Lisa Pollock. So the scene in the gym was pretty much the way you remember it. Older kids dancing in the middle, younger kids at the periphery, a few aimlessly wandering around, looking like they're not sure what to do. Lots of kids were dancing, jumping up and down. Occasionally you see a fist bump. They dance in these tightly packed clusters, very little room between them. And outside of the clusters were chaperones ready to step in when they saw any kind of grinding or suggestive dancing. Hovering outside one of these clusters was a teacher named John Gauze, and he looked perplexed. John, this knot has got me on edge at this point. Why? John, because they're trying to get away with stuff. You can tell by the way they're looking at you. They have a guilty look. You're about to see me swoop. Lisa Pollock. He actually did swoop. He plunged into the pack of kids, pulled the boy aside and talked to him. And then he told me why. John. He needed to be taken aside and told to stop being up against those girls like that. I don't want to jump in too much, but I just want to give them the whoa, the flat hand whoa, just whoa. Just calm it down a little. Usually if I see it, then they're going to stop because they see me. Lisa Pollock. And then comes the moment of truth, the moment that forces every kid in the room to make a decision, the moment that separates the timid from the brave, the slow song. I watch it with teacher Brian Comra. Brian. So we got our slow song, and just as I suspected, a majority of the students left the dance floor. All the couples are in the middle of the dance floor in a cluster. I suspect so they're not near an adult. Lisa Pollock. I love how the kids go up to the couples dancing and interrupt them. Oh, absolutely. Some of the couples didn't have much privacy. Their friends were standing a foot away, hanging out and talking to them, and every so often, a random kid would just cut across the dance floor. This girl right here just grabbed onto the back of her friend's neck while the friend was dancing with the boy. Yeah, I don't know if she didn't want to be left out or they came as friends. I think at this stage of the game, it's hard when boys and girls pair off and then one friend is always left behind. Lisa Pollock. There are a few of these slow dances. Most of the songs are fast, and then suddenly the song Hit the Road Jack starts playing and the lights snap on. Oh my God, they just like all, oh my God. Yeah, it ends very abruptly. It's 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock. That's it. That's it. There's no wind down. 9 o'clock. Lights come on. Parents are waiting. It'll be empty in another minute. And he was right. The experiment in mini adulthood that is the middle school dance was over. The same kids who minutes earlier were holding each other and swaying awkwardly on the dance floor got into cars and said hi to their parents. Lisa Pollock, coming up, surviving middle school by pretending that you are from a completely different family. That is in a minute. From Chicago Public Radio and Public Radio International when our program continues. All right, scholars, your last two questions. Here we go, listing questions 9 and 10. Right. Make an annotation in paragraphs 113 to 126. Consider the reporter's conversation with the adult chaperone at the middle school dance in Delaware. What does he say young people behave with each other at the dance? Sorry, the question says, how does he say young people behave with each other at the dance? Pause the video and write your answer on a piece of paper. Number 10, right. Make an annotation in paragraph 126. What does Act 2 suggest about some of the challenges of being an adolescent? Write your answer on a piece of paper. I'll count to 10 while you pause the video. Okay, we've got this one question on the side here. Can you see it? It says, what do the video and the podcast suggest about what it's like to be an adolescent? What is unique about the adolescent experience? Use evidence from the video and the podcast transcript to support your answer. The video this question is talking about is the video that your 7th grade English language arts teacher will be posting in their Focus websites under video. So if you can't find it here, find it there.